I was like, canceled, like Monique, why is she canceled?
Mm-hmm.
I had to revisit that because it was like, it didn't make sense to me. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone too.
50 Cent just called out Tyler Perry, and he didn't whisper about it either. He said straight up, you helped ruin Monique's career, and it's time to fix it.
I never told no one not to work with him. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone.
Yeah, you heard that right. 50 Cent, one of the most fearless voices in the game, just put Tyler Perry, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, on blast. And this time, it's not about beef, it's about justice. Because this story, it's years in the making. It's about a woman who went from the top of the mountain to being erased from the industry she helped change. It's about betrayal, pride, and the silent power moves that happen behind closed doors in Hollywood. This is the story of how Monique, the Oscar-winning queen of realness, got blackballed.
Artists should be allowed to pursue the artistic endeavor. But I still think a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery, but we could do better.
We're talking about Tyler Perry at this point.
And how 50 Cent is trying to set the record straight. Let's rewind the tape. Back in 2009, Monique was on fire.
Like canceled, like Monique, why is she canceled?
She was the loudest voice in the room and the most talented one too. Her role in Precious wasn't just acting, it was transformation. She went deep, dark, raw. And the world noticed. She won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, a moment that should have taken her career to new heights. But instead, that's where the downfall began. Because when Monique won that Oscar, she didn't play the game the way Hollywood expected her to, and that's when the whispers started.
I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone too.
The producers of Precious, including Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and Tyler Perry, wanted her to promote the movie overseas, unpaid. They said it was for the love of the art, but Monique said no. She said, I did my job. I acted. My contract didn't say I had to work for free. And that's when the calls stopped coming. Now, if you know Monique, you know she's not one to back down. She's never been afraid to say what others won't. So when her name started disappearing from headlines, she started asking why. And that's when she found out people were talking. Lee Daniels told her straight up that she'd been blackballed. He said, you didn't play the game. And when she asked who was behind it, he dropped two names, Oprah and Tyler Perry. According to Monique, those were the ones who closed the doors. For years, she kept quiet. Then one day she started talking. And once Monique starts talking, there's no stopping her. She went on interviews, podcasts, stages, telling her truth, that she was punished for standing her ground, that she was treated like a problem instead of a professional. And every time she spoke, she got labeled difficult. That's Hollywood code for you can't control her. Now here's where 50 Cent enters the story. Because if there's one man who loves exposing the system, it's him. 50 built his whole career on calling out hypocrisy, in music, in TV, and in Hollywood. So when he heard Monique's story, he didn't just feel bad for her, he got mad. He went online and said, Monique is one of the most talented comedians alive. It's time to give her the respect she deserves. But he didn't stop there. He said, I'm gonna put her back on. And he did. He cast Monique in his hit show BMF, bringing her back to TV after more than a decade of being ignored. That's loyalty, but 50 wasn't done. He started digging, asking questions, and that's when he went straight to the source, Tyler Perry. According to 50, he confronted Perry and asked him, why did you block Monique? Why'd you tell people not to hire her? And Perry said, I never told anyone that. But 50 wasn't convinced. He told fans Tyler said he didn't blackball her. But if that's true, then fix it. Call her, work with her, make it right. Because 50 knows the truth. Words don't clear your name, actions do. And here's the thing. If you look at Monique's timeline, it makes sense. Right after Precious, her phone stopped ringing. She didn't get movie deals. She didn't get TV gigs. Nothing. Meanwhile, Tyler Perry and Oprah were rising higher than ever. New shows, new deals, new networks. And Monique, she was on the outside looking in, and that's why 50's words hit so hard, because for the first time, a powerful man was standing up for a powerful woman who'd been silenced. Let's talk about what 50 really means when he says confronted. He's not talking about yelling in a parking lot. He's talking about power confronting power, a billionaire versus a mogul. Tyler Perry is Hollywood royalty, movies, studios, partnerships with BET, and close ties with Oprah. He runs an empire that could make or break someone's career overnight. But 50, he's built his own. He doesn't need Hollywood. Hollywood needs him. So when he speaks, they can't just ignore it. That's why his confrontation mattered, because it wasn't gossip, it was accountability. And here's where it gets deeper. For years, Tyler Perry's been preaching about uplifting the Black community, writing stories for Black women, giving them jobs, spotlighting their voices. But if Monique's story is true, that image gets complicated. Because how can you say you stand for Black women if you help destroy one? Monique said she even reached out to Tyler privately to talk it out. And when she did, he told her, "I'll meet with you, but only if you apologize to me." Think about that. A woman loses her career, gets labeled difficult, and the man accused of helping do it says she's the one who needs to apologize. That's power dynamics at its ugliest. But then came the turning point. After 50 Cent put Monique on BMF, people started rethinking everything. Fans said, wait a minute, Monique still got it. She's still fire. So why was she ever blackballed? And suddenly people started turning their eyes toward Tyler Perry again. Even people in Hollywood started whispering that 50 might have been right, because Monique didn't just vanish, she was pushed out. Now let's keep it real. Tyler Perry hasn't been completely silent through all this. He's addressed it indirectly. He said he supports Monique, that he never told anyone not to work with her. He even told 50 that he talked to her personally to clear the air. But the public hasn't seen that happen. No reunion, no public apology, no movie deal together. So people are asking, if Tyler really wants to make it right, what's stopping him? And let's not forget, 50's not just doing this for attention. He's doing it because he's seen this story before. Hollywood loves to build people up and then tear them down, especially when they're outspoken, especially when they're Black, and especially when they don't play by the rules. Monique was loud, she was bold, she demanded fairness, and in an industry that thrives on silence, that made her dangerous. Killing someone's career in Hollywood doesn't always mean you put it in writing. It means you stop inviting them to the table. It means you whisper in meetings, she's a problem, she's ungrateful, she's hard to work with. And before you know it, your name is poison. That's what happened to Nique, and that's what 50 is fighting to undo. He's using his power to bring her name back where it belongs, on top. When 50 talks about fairness, it hits different because he's lived it. He's been blackballed too. He's fought against labels, networks, and executives who tried to silence him. So when he saw Monique fighting the same battle, he saw himself. He said, they tried to shut her up, but she ain't shut down. She's still standing, still shining, still real. That's why their alliance feels so powerful. It's not just business, it's rebellion. Now here's the irony. Tyler Perry's whole brand is about forgiveness and faith. His movies preach it, his interviews repeat it. But when it came to Monique, that grace didn't seem to apply. Because forgiveness in Hollywood isn't about right and wrong, it's about control. And 50's breaking that control by calling it out in public. He said, I don't need Hollywood's permission to do what's right. And that's the line that changed everything. Since then, Monique's comeback has been unstoppable. She's working again, she's being interviewed again, she's finally telling her story without being shut down. And whether Tyler Perry likes it or not, people are listening. The narrative flipped from Monique's difficult to Monique was right. And that's all because 50 used his platform to give her one. But let's be real. This story isn't just about one actress. It's about what happens when power gets too comfortable. When people in high places think they can decide who deserves a voice and who doesn't. It's about how Hollywood can still silence you. Not with violence, but with silence. And for years, that silence was winning. Until 50 Cent stepped in. Some people say 50's just stirring the pot, that he's looking for clout, that he's making enemies for clicks. But that's what they always say when somebody challenges the system. Because here's the truth. When someone powerful starts telling the truth, it's not clout, it's courage. Monique once said, silence is betrayal. And 50 must have heard that loud and clear, because he's not being silent, he's speaking up. Not just for Monique, but for every artist who's been bullied, blackballed, or buried because they said no. And here's the beautiful twist. After all the pain, all the years, all the rumors, Monique's getting the last laugh. She's working, she's winning, and she's walking with her head high. She said, when you tell the truth, you don't need to remember the lie. That's how you know she's healed. Now, whether Tyler Perry ever admits his part or not, the damage is done. The truth's out there. And people are watching differently now, because when you have someone as powerful as 50 Cent saying, yo, that's not right, the world listens. And even Tyler Perry can't ignore that forever. So yeah, 50 Cent confronted Tyler Perry. Not with violence, not with threats, but with truth. And sometimes truth hits harder than any bullet ever could. This is Buzz and Drama, where we don't sugarcoat it, we serve it straight. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Do you think Tyler Perry really tried to block Monique's career, or was it just Hollywood politics gone wrong? Because one thing's for sure, when 50 Cent steps into the ring, somebody's about to get exposed. See you on the next one.